तो हेलो फ्रेंड्स, स्वागत है आपका मेरे इलेक्ट्रिकल साइंस चैनल पे। तो आज हम जानेंगे सिंक्रोनस मशीन के कुछ ऐसे शॉर्ट्स नोट्स जो जेबी गुप्ता बुक में दिए गए हैं और बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं। ठीक है, तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। फर्स्ट पॉइंट, अल्टरनेटर ऑपरेट्स ऑन द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक इंडक्शन। ठीक है। सेकंड पॉइंट, द आर्मेचर ऑफ एन अल्टरनेटर कंसिस्ट ऑफ द वाइंडिंग into which current is induced. Third point, in modern alternator, the rotating part is field system. Fourth point, the current from the stator of an alternator is taken out to the external load circuit through solid connections. Okay. Fifth point, an alternator, a polyphase synchronous machine operated with DC exciter. ओके, बेसिकली ये पॉलीफेज सिंक्रोनस मशीन है जो एक डीसी एक्साइटर द्वारा ऑपरेट होती है। ओके। सिक्स्थ पॉइंट, द प्राइमरी रीजन फॉर प्लेसिंग फील्ड ऑन रोटर इन एन अल्टरनेटर, इंसुलेशन ऑफ हाई वोल्टेज इज मेड इजी ऑन स्टेटर देन ऑन रोटर। ओके। सेवेंथ पॉइंट, द टाइप ऑफ अल्टरनेटर इज यूज्ड इन हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक पावर स्टेशन इज salient pole alternator. Okay. 8 point, compared to the salient pole hydroelectric generators, the steam and the gas turbine generators have cylindrical rotors for providing higher mechanical strength against the centrifugal stress. Okay. 9th point, in case of turbo alternator, rotor is made of forged steel. Okay. 10th point, in synchronous machine, the stator frame serves the purpose of holding the armature stamping in position and also in cases for circulating cold water for cooling. Okay. 11th point, in synchronous machine, the stator frame is made of, okay, cast iron or welded steel plates. हम आगे बढ़ते हैं 12th पॉइंट की तरफ। द स्टेटर कोर ऑफ अ सिंक्रोनस मशीन इज बिल्ट अप डैश लैमिनेशंस। बेसिकली हमको सब पता है, द स्टेटर कोर ऑफ सिंक्रोनस मशीन इज बिल्ट अप सिलिकॉन स्टील लैमिनेशंस। 13th point, the stator core stamping also have openings which make dash ventilating ducts to provide efficiency cooling, axial as well as radial. Okay. 14th point, the open slots are commonly used in the stator of a synchronous machine as, first point, the inductance of the winding is less. Second point, they permit the placement of firm bound and insulated coils, giving least expensive and more satisfactory. Okay. 15th point, the field system of an alternator is usually excited at 250 volt DC. Okay. 16th point, the slip rings employed in a three-phase synchronous machine are insulated for low voltage. 17th point, in a large synchronous generator, the damper winding is provided for, first point, absorption of energy oscillations when operating in parallel with another alternator. Second point, suppression of spontaneous hunting when supplying power to a transmission line with high resistance or reactance ratio. Okay. Third point, providing a low resistance path for the current due to unbalancing of voltages. 18th point, ठीक है, damper bars in case of salient pole rotors of hydro alternators are usually inserted in pole faces to damp out the rotor oscillation during transient state owing to sudden change in load conditions. Okay. 19th point, hydro generators are generally employed to run at 500 rpm. Okay. 20th point, the salient pole rotors have, I can repeat you again, the salient pole rotors have, first point, a large number of projecting pole carrying the field coils. Second point, thick steel lamination riveted together and fixed to the rotor by a dovetail joint. Third point, pole faces usually provide with slots for damper winding. अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगती है तो इसको लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करिए ताकि मैं फ्यूचर में आपके लिए और भी ऐसी वीडियो लाऊं जिससे आपका हेल्प हो सके। ओके। आगे बढ़ते हैं। 21st पॉइंट, इन सैलिएंट पोल फील्ड स्ट्रक्चर द पोल शूज कवर अबाउट डैश ऑफ पोल पिच 2/3. ओके। 22th पॉइंट, large diameter salient pole rotors have short axial length because number of conductors held in large circumference of rotor is very large and so they need to be long. Okay. 23rd point, in a salient pole synchronous machine the air gap is least under the middle of the pole shoe and increases outwards. Okay. 24th point, the number of poles turbo alternator is usually 2. Okay. 25th point, to obtain sinusoidal flux distribution, chamfering of poles is done in salient pole alternators only. Okay. 26th point, the salient pole rotors are not suitable for high speed turbo generators due to high centrifugal force and windage loss. Okay, 27th point, in cylindrical rotor, dash portion of rotor is wound 2/3. Okay, 28th point, armature winding is one which EMF is induced by the main or working flux. 29th point, armature winding is an AC machines may be either closed one giving delta connections or open one giving star connections. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं 30th पॉइंट की तरफ. द स्टेटर ऑफ मॉडर्न अल्टरनेट्स आर वाउंड फॉर डैश फेज ग्रुप 60 डिग्री. ओके, 31st पॉइंट, कंसंट्रेटेड वाइंडिंग हैज वन कॉइल per pair of poles per phase. Okay, 32 point, for a concentrated winding the polar groups each phase is dash electrical degrees apart 360. Okay, fine. 33 point, for a two layer windings the number of stator slot is equal to the number of coils. Okay, 34th point, the main advantage of distributing the winding in slot is equal to reduces the harmonics in the generated EMF. Okay, 35th point, distributed winding is preferred over concentrated winding is at it improves the generated EMF waveform and rigidity and mechanical strength to the winding. Okay, 36th point, in a synchronous alternator the following coils will have EMF closer to sine waveform. Distributed winding in short pitch coils. Okay, 37th point, if the space flux distribution is non-sinusoidal, EMF induced in the distributed winding will be more sinusoidal in comparison to the flux distribution. Okay, 38th point, the short pitch winding is preferred over full pitch winding for an alternator because it first gives improved waveform of the induced EMF as the distorting harmonics can be reduced or totally eliminated. Second point, reduces the inductance of the winding. Okay, 39th point, coding and distribution of armature windings for AC machine results in first, reduction in air gap MMF harmonics. Second point, reduction in fundamental component of induced EMF. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं 40th point, harmonics in the EMF generated in an alternator can be reduced by, I repeat it again, harmonics in the EMF generator in an alternator can be reduced by skewing slots, chamfering the salient pole tips using distributed winding. Okay, 41st point, skew of rotor bar eliminates the effect of space harmonics. Okay, 42 point, distributed winding and short cording employed in an AC machine will result in reduction in both EMF and harmonics. 43 point, in a synchronous generator a divided winding rotor is preferable to a conventional winding rotor because of better damping. 44th point, in a cylindrical rotor synchronous machine the phasor addition of stator and rotor MMF is possible because two MMFs are stationary with respect to each other. Okay, 45 point, the stator winding of an alternator is normally connected in star to eliminate the dash harmonic component of the voltage waveform. I repeat it again, the stator winding of an alternator is normally connected in star to eliminate the third harmonic component of the voltage waveform. Okay, 46 point, the angle between induced EMF and terminal voltage on no load for single phase alternator is 0 degree. ठीक है. 47th point, power factor of an alternator driven by constant prime mover input can be changed by changing its field excitation. That means we can change the power factor of an alternator by changing the field excitation. 48th point, how can be reactive power delivered by a synchronous generator can be controlled by excitation by changing the excitation. Okay, 49th point, the rating of prime mover driving an alternator is determined by entirely by its dash rating. हमारी क्या, kilowatt output rating. Okay, last point, the rating of synchronous machine is usually governed by its temperature rise. और ये रहा हमारा आज का क्वेश्चन, an under excited alternator supplies dash. इसका आंसर आप हमें कमेंट बॉक्स में लिखिए और इस वीडियो को बार बार देखिए जिससे आपको रिवीजन हो सके, आपके एग्जाम में हेल्प हो सके. ओके, थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियो.